Orionis. September 2015. I am Orionis. I came to you today, brothers and sisters in the human flesh of this earth. My final coming dates back a few years, and that time is not there by chance, in its linearity. I come as one who, long ago, at the beginning of forgery, oversaw that the agreements between the forces of the Intergalactic Confederation and the opposing forces of light, at this time, respect certain number of rules. So, I was part, until recently, also, then Lipika Karmic were appointed to oversee the proper implementation of about some mandatory rules in this world, until his future release. Today I return, then, as married did recently, to drive, collectively on Earth, in agreement with the people of nature and in accordance with the joint forces of the Intergalactic Confederation, the final ignition of the heart fire and therefore the Merkaba interdimensional collective and personal. Allow me to first establish ourselves together in the latter fire heart, coming scorch the ephemeral and reveal his glory and beauty in eternity. Silence. As you live it, in the individual and collective scale of this earth, everything that had been veiled, hidden and silent is today, both individually and collectively, lit by the power of the light that celebrates, now and ever, return the entire Holy Spirit of light in this world. Here therefore enter directly and fully aware, as was explained by the elders, the humanity of shock. Rest assured, wherever you are and whatever role still play, the righteous retribution, which corresponds to the words of Christ, which are, you will be done to him according to his faith, and especially, get up and walk. Walk in the way of his eternity already gained since rediscovered, or rediscovered roots. I come completing the last cycle of confinement ending these days, which allows each of you to find your exact location, their exact status, depending on who tells consciousness, in all freedom in each one of you and so collective. So the fire comes down from heaven, as I express when my last appearance in the flesh of him that was named Blessing Denov. I invite you to learn about this last prophecy, I invite you to learn about what I could write at that time, named the Universal Love. That said, the period that opens up before you is that the resolution of all opposition and all confrontation, as they were told and repeated, either by the elders, the archangels, the stars, or even and, even more recently, by the people of nature. The time has come to sing the praises of the newfound freedom, freedom conducted and revealed. I invite you, now and ever, if that is your heart, dive into the heart of your heart, where is this famous resolution of all contradictions, all the conflicts, all the memories and all illusions. By my presence here today and throughout the earth, I sign the final decree, to terminate the written, signed agreements for over 320,000 years, because the times are close. The second star is approaching now the full speed of your sun, it already reacts and exalts the grace of liberty, which gives them the living presence of his existence body, the presence of freedom, the presence of truth and the presence of eternity. One of the children, as well as the source recited to you, and Uriel sang them, the time now, the naked, pure and integral light arrived. Traditionally, in this world, the light carriers in the heart, which are the Elohim and Nephilim, clustering on the threshold of his consciousness. Do not look, there, a presence, to entity, but look, yes, the flame of the resurrection, the flame of the burning truth, and who just consume the resisting both in each is to the collective level. I invite you then to sing Elohim and Nephilim, the same vibe, the same love, the same frequency, which brings them then the necessary indispensable in his heart, the truth of love fire in this world and no more, only in your heart. Thus, in themselves, audibly or silently, these two names recur: Elohim, Nephilim, which gives them access to the stability of the heart, which puts them in contact with people of nature. I will remember, too, the Orion greeting, which allows them, for those of you who are not aware of the vibration at the moment, who are not aware of a conscience, who are not aware of the self, experience in the heart, the truth of their contacts, their presences. Thus, by referring vibrate and these two sacred names as follows, you will find what is left, just as you think, perhaps, to rediscover, to express and to manifest. So I do it for you. ELOOOOOHIMMMMM, NEPHIIIIILIIIIMMMMM 3 times. In chorus with the house. ELOOOOHIMMMM, NEPHIIIIILIIIIMMMM, ELOOOOHIMMMM, NEPHIIIILIIIIMMMM, ELOOOOHIMMMM, NEPHIIIILIIIIMMMM. So it opens up in you, anywhere and place, that is, the light channel that regenerates in you, the frequency of the Elohim and Nephilim, which allows them to create the ascending corridor that drives them to their destination. More specifically, for those of you have to live all the a conscience, freed of all flesh, or for those of you, freed of the flesh or not, that should carry over to the level of the heavenly Jerusalem, the level of the ring of fire of the ancients, one of the 6 that exist, yet. This arouses also in you, the original vibration of fire beings who landed the unchanged geometric structures present in fire circles of elders and elsewhere on the planet, known or unknown, that resonate the earth anchoring pillars in its new dimension, that resonate in you, the revelation in the apparent unraveling, in this world, his heart, love and truth. Thus, when approaching, every day more, simplicity, humility and joy, you reacquainted what to rediscover in love and stasis. Today, from the moment when the Archangel Michael has followed the second star leading down to its soil, from that moment, its exterior such activity should cease, sine die, until the appeal of Mary. There will be no means to deceive himself or be deceived, because the sounds of heaven and earth, who have already made their appearances continuously in his ears, and conspicuously on its skies, no longer in installments way, but globally will be, for you, the time to settle his affairs, to sort out what should be and to withdraw to the center of themselves, which prepares, so in a few days, the fullness of appeal Mary. Therefore keep watch and pray, expect nothing, nothing to project, but watch as much of themselves as the screen of this world, which takes place today. Numerous prophecies were given, either be my last prophecy in the flesh of blessing Donov, when the end of life of your body, whether by St. John, whether by numerous prophets, in some traditions, culture or religion they are, who have them given extremely precise time counters. That the residual shadow forces on this earth, as in this solar system, which can no longer rely on the dissolved predation lines when the earth liberation few years ago, recognize, they also, the sign, and will then at that moment, the majesty of the light of the sun burning hearts will reveal themselves on earth. If astrophysics interests you, I invite you to reread what was voiced, almost 10 years ago, the blue guide Sirius, named Seretti, who explained to them at that time, which at that moment must have seemed to them very unlikely but today is confirmed by data of observation, both on Earth and the Sun. So therefore, keep watch and pray, keep watch above all to remain with a light heart, a loving heart, and you know that for this there is no better position than the humility and simplicity of heart. Do not worry more with anything other than this. Return to the notion of eternity. By the grace of Elohim and Nephilim, those who, for 50,000 or 300,000 years allowed never extinguish the flame of truth, whatever the appearances, whatever the sufferings and whatever tribulations. I come to invite you to celebrate no longer any bridal, but much more, return to your eternity. Each of you, in his own way, each of you, depending on your state of consciousness, its presence or its absence, will see this unfold according to a profoundly different perspective, which is, however, the same truth and same reality. Worthy children burning the sun, I invite you, starting today, to immerse themselves in what is named the fifth dimension, whether by appeal of the peoples of nature, either by channel Mariano appeal, whether the presence of one of the ancients, one of the stars or of the archangels at its side. Bless these moments, let us unfold in the fullness of grace, in the fullness of state of grace, which silences all that may come to change this state of contentment that leads to the appeal of Mary threshold. I would add that, in a very logical way, even before the appearance in your skies, from what I described before, even, the emergence of global way, sounds and trumpets, check itself, which unfolds not to criticize it, not to evaluate it, but to reassure and affirm to themselves, the presence of your eternity in your existence of body, completed now for most of you, which gives a receptacle perfect for the appeal of Mary and for the return of incoming. Nothing in this world believe in what will unfold in history, this plan the battles to come. This is a scenario that cannot go very far, when coming from. There will be almost lag between the appeal of Mary and her transition, wherever she goes. It is content to live his life, until the moment when the sounds echo abroad, which are the same as many of you realize the head, around the auric field and on the left and / or right ear heard. This appeal to release is not an appeal to fight any circumstance of this world, but rather to let them unfold without their provide awareness and without their pay emotion or logic any of your world and its laws. Silence. I invite you, then, because my words will stop there, and in advance, I give thanks for your listening, I give thanks for your presence and I give thanks for reading. Let us together establish ourselves in silence, for our common presence, for your reading or your listening when to perform. Next to silence the truth, preliminary to the word creator, completion of reversals, completion of the passages which leads to the beginning of time, in which nothing ever really began or disappeared. So together, and this is my way to greet them, in light of the Elohim, in the light of the Nephilim, the word of silence and the silence of the word. My blessing extends, now and ever, right here and disseminate gradually and as you're reading or you're listening. Do not forget, these moments of reading, listening or for that moment now, sung in itself Elohim and Nephilim. Do it for 7 minutes of your linear time, the silence of the heart temple, clean, purified and peaceful, welcoming the appeal of Mary and the one who comes. Silence. Thus, in the silence of the heart truth, the vibration of love, in its absolute eternity, Orionis welcomes you.